Hey, Christopher. Here, let me unmute you. Here we go. Hey, Christopher, where are you at?
I'm in the UK. I'm in a little town called Newmarket.
Awesome. I'm going to be flying to London at the end of the month and spending about 10 days there.
Right.
How far are you from London?
About an hour.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cities, London.
Uh-huh. I don't really go to London much unless I'm flying or something, but
Yeah.
I tend to stay away from big cities.
Well, you have the best of both worlds there.
But where I am, it's a small town, but it's sort of half in the countryside, and there are thousands and thousands of race horses.
Oh, lovely.
And they have stud farms all around and racing stables. Everything in Newmarket's to do with horse racing, basically.
Lovely.
So it's a lovely little place, really.
Yeah, sounds great. So, Anastasia, welcome. Karen, it's probably going to be a slow here. I don't know what's happened this week. It's been like, I don't know if everybody's hibernating. I don't know if the Super Bowl. Bakari, welcome. I'm going to give people a chance to get on here for a few minutes before I start. And so let me just say that if, God forbid, anything happens, hang in there. Every once in a great while, I get disconnected and I have 3 computers sitting here. So I will jump back on. Jackie, hey, welcome. Yeah, so hang in there. If God forbid that happens, I will just sign back on. So I'm going to give us a couple more minutes before I start here. Last time, people kept getting on. Yeah, here we go. Yolanda, welcome. So we've got people from all over here. Welcome, my fellow Americans and Canada, and of course our allies and friends in the United Kingdom. And I look forward to spending time there. Olga, welcome. Pat, give you guys a couple more minutes. I don't know where you guys are, but I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful Atlanta, Georgia in the United States of America. And it's really cold. And it was been in the 70s and all of a sudden it dropped. So I don't know what's going on with our weather, but tomorrow's our Super Bowl. And I'm sure everybody's going to be inside hunkered down in front of the television anyway. So, all right, I'm going to wait just another minute and then I'm going to get started. So I see some of you are already either members or, okay, roll on, yeah. Members or have applications in, and then I see quite a few people who are on my information list and are here to learn about what this is all about. And yes, Anastasia, Atlanta says hello back to you. So Anastasia, where are you from? Can you type that in? I want you guys to feel very welcome to just type in, chat in there. If anybody wants to come out, I can call you out and we'll have discussions. Israel, oh my gosh, okay. But you're living in New York. All right, awesome. Well, welcome. So obviously today you're here because you want to learn more about this. You want to ask questions, maybe just sit back and listen. Whatever your reasons, I welcome you. Most of you know who I am. I'm Landria Onkka. I, of course, have shared my background with many of you. You may know me from my YouTube channel. I'm a spiritual mentor, and I've also was a former investment banker for 25 years. and switched careers completely and went into this wonderful world of online marketing, which, to my surprise, changed my life in ways that I never imagined. Just a little background quickly of myself. I've been everything from selling real estate to owning my own business when I was 19, selling telecom systems. I was a former professional cheerleader for the NBA, a writer on Capitol Hill. I've lived in other countries. I've got multiple scholarships from universities such as University of Michigan and Georgetown, University of Cologne. So I'm a very, well-traveled, experienced person, and obviously you can tell a risk taker. I ended up getting into investment banking, not by a plan of mine, but because life sort of took me there. And once I got on that train, I didn't get off of it for 25 years. So a lot of you can probably relate to that, getting on that train where life takes you and you sort of say, this wasn't what I planned for. And it was a great ride. I loved it. I was very good at it, but I would have never guessed that would be anything I would have pursued. And if you'd have asked me in the beginning what I really loved doing, it was writing. I had writing scholarships even as a child, even in elementary school. I was won the Young Authors Regional Writers Contest. So I had a talent, but nobody really encouraged that. I had teachers encourage that, and I'd go back up to the next school. And it took all this time for me to say, that's a talent of mine that I've never pursued, because we always think of those talents and hobbies of something that we do on the side, not what we do for a living. And I think people are realizing that's not how life should be, but we have bills to pay. So we don't think that way. We're like, okay, let's be practical. What are we going to do over here? We'll do what we don't really love anymore, so that we can afford to do the things that we do love if we have the time and we're not exhausted to do them. So after 25 years, the financial industry changed dramatically. Obviously, after 9/11, I worked a lot in New York. So I basically just decided that I didn't really want to be an investment banker anymore. And I loved it, but it was wearing me out. And I think the turning point, well, there are a couple turning points. One was, you could probably relate to this. I had a pretty glamorous life. I had, unbelievable expense accounts from Lehman Brothers. I was senior vice president of wealth management for Lehman Brothers, Neuberger Berman for a while. Quit and went back to my own business. I actually owned the company in private equity. I was on private jets with, millionaires and billionaires, and with pro athletes and entertainers, and, doing all the best of the high life. I can remember we flew to Cartagena once for a wedding on two of my investors' private jets, just for fun, and with private guards and everything. So I can't say that it was a bad life, but, at the end of the day, when you're working 14 hours and you're just not feeling fulfilled anymore, you start to look at life very differently. And I'll never forget when my very good friend called me, and he said, listen, he goes, I have first-class tickets to Italy, and my friend's opening up a spa. And in the wine country, all you have to do is show up at the airport. It's all free. And I didn't go because I had clients that needed me 24/7 on a deal that didn't even close eventually. And I said, this is ridiculous. I'm not living my life anymore, because travel used to be such a big part of it. And I knew that I had to do something. So what happened in the meantime is sometimes the universe sends you exactly what you're asking for, and be careful of that. Be ready for it, because it could shake your world up. And it shook mine up. I got a divorce. Was not a negative thing for me. I embrace change. I know that there's always something good that comes from these things. Moved out of the 8,200 square foot home. And my entire family subsequently died after that. My mother, my dog, my dad, my cousin, and my brother just recently died. All boom, 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 very suddenly. And I was standing here thinking, okay, I've lived a very exciting life. And we all do that. Like, well, I'm doing well, I'm doing okay compared to the standards of the world, right? But what happened is I just realized that, that wasn't good enough for me. And I knew that there was another life I wanted to live, and that was one of freedom, and that I could create that financial stability if I wanted to. In fact, I could create it much more myself than I could relying on other people and constantly chasing clients. So what happened is I ended up quitting everything. I'll never forget when I let my licenses expire, my securities licenses, and I thought that I'd probably freak out that night. And at midnight, I slept like a baby, and I thought, sometimes letting go of the things you think you're supposed to be doing can be the best thing for you. So what happened is I didn't really have much of a plan, and I went back to what I really loved, what I was really good at, and I wrote a book. And you may know it was picked up and turned into a television movie within a few months. And I wrote 2 other books. They're award-winning bestsellers. And then I said, okay, now what? And I put it online, and it was crickets. I opened up an e-commerce store, and nothing happened. And I realized that I needed to learn how to promote myself. And I knew, because I had been in the industry with hundreds of companies, this is what we did. We advised businesses and funded them, how to be successful. And I knew the ones that were flourishing were online. I knew that we had the ability as individuals to use all of this training, and that there was training available that was never available before. So what happened is I saw an ad by Stuart Ross, the founder of Six Figure Mentors, and he's just adorable. And I knew he was authentic. And like you probably clicked on my ad. You figured, wait a minute, this isn't a spiel. This is somebody who's really doing this, and I got to check this out, because you're looking at your options, and they're not looking that great. Mine weren't. Working for somebody else, starting another company, I already owned a company, going back to school for what? And none of them made any sense for the kind of life I wanted. And I realized our world had changed, and we're not changing along with it. We're still in that old traditional way of thinking that we're told that we need to stay in that job and earn that money the way we've been doing for somebody else. Or even if you own your own business, we have a lot of business owners at SFM who are exhausted. They can't wait to get out of their situations because they have no life, because they don't get to go home at the end of the day without the responsibilities. They still have to worry about the employees and paying all those bills. So it's even more of a responsibility to own your own traditional business. And I realized that this was something available to an individual. It wasn't something just companies could do anymore. I did not hesitate. I never questioned it. I didn't know that there were schemes and scams out there, because I didn't spend much time online. So it was a blessing for me. I came in with such an open, clear mind, and it's just been awesome. It's been challenging, because I realized this is a real business. This is a real education, and that means I had to focus and give it time. It's like anything. If you want to succeed at anything, you've got to give it focus, and that's what I did, like I do in anything in life. And I also understood that I was surrounded by people who were going to help me, and this is why SFM excels, and we have so many happy people and people who are successful. Stuart Ross, when he first started SFM, Six Figure Mentors, he owned Six Figure Mentors, and Jay Kubasek, the other founder, had a company called Digital Experts Academy, and he was already a multimillionaire. And Stu knew of him and sort of looked up to him. And Stu had launched Six Figure Mentors, and he was determined to give the kind of training that was not available out there, very detailed training. And he was very successful at it, but his success rate of the members was not very high, and that bothered him, because this is a guy who really actually does care about what happens with us. It bothered him terribly, because he wanted to help change other people's lives. He was already a millionaire. He didn't need the money. He needed purpose. This was his purpose. And he realized what was missing is that once they walked out of that training center and went online, there was nobody to talk to. There was no support. There was maybe a little tech support or whatever. There was nobody that would sit down and say, here's what you need to do, or here's what I'm doing, or try this, or there was no community that said you can do this, or hey, maybe your spouse thinks they're skeptical, this is a scam. So is mine. Here's how we get through that. There was none of that. And I don't know about you, but mentors for me are critical. And I remember thinking, and I'm a major manifester. If you watch my channel, you know that I've gotten very good at that, because I really truly believe in what I'm going after. I know every probability exists. And I thought, I've always wanted a mentor. That had never showed up for me. I was always the boss or the person in charge or the CEO. And that continued on through my whole career. And I thought, I never had anybody to go to. And that was very frustrating. I was always under pressure from people rather than them helping me. And sure enough, when I saw Stu, I realized this is what I've been looking for my entire life. Yeah, can I run companies? There's any numerous things that I can do. But I needed that support system that was going to help me go into something that was very foreign to me. And that was creating an online business. So I'm going to just briefly explain what it is in case you really don't understand it, because I did not. In fact, I joined just because I knew I needed to learn how to use the internet and that I wanted to create businesses because I'm an entrepreneur. But I didn't know what affiliate marketing was.
7.
Oops.
I got a late start. But listen, where am I going to be linking up with?
I need to mute somebody. Is there anybody out there that, Yolanda's not muted. All right, if anybody's not muted, can you be sure to mute yourself? Okay. Thanks. So I didn't know what affiliate marketing was, but the light bulb went off when I realized, wait a minute, instead of me trying to set up all this stuff and having my own products and services, SFM now was giving me a tested, successful product and service line. And all I had to do was plug into their platform. All those things that I didn't want to do as a business owner was now taken away from me. But I still own my own business. And this is what SFM encourages. What if you created a business online where all you had to do was promote something of real value? And I don't know about you, but for me, getting out of my old career, most of the reason why was I needed to feel really good about my life every day. And the kind of things we did in finance was pretty much brutal. And so I found my voice by...
I am.
Oh, shoot.
But I'm saying, but the other ones you're going to be selling me, you're going to be giving.
I don't know who that is, but I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm not able to mute them. So what I had to do is basically switch gears and realize this is a completely different way of thinking. I had worked with franchises. That's when you take an amount of money, you invest in somebody else's business, you own it, but the franchise is really what's making all the money. They're getting the big royalties, and you still have to manage everything, and you're investing in it, and you're paying them. That did not solve any problems, and I realized this is the best of both worlds. I don't have to run a business. Franchises made sense at the time because people could plug into a proven brand and not have to create their own, because that's a big job. I'm stepping into a proven brand, and all I have to do is invest in my education, not in the business. I'm investing in an education. So if I learned this whole internet marketing thing, how to create a business online, to sell anything, that money that I spent with SFM was just no different than if I went to Harvard or an online university or anything else. Yet we can't get that in our head. We can't switch gears. And when we think about the fact that this is not giving somebody else money, we are learning something. We are paying mentors, trainers, tech team to teach us. unbelievable, valuable information that we can use for anything online, whether it's a charity, just sharing whatever you want with global markets, selling something, creating multiple businesses, or doing just affiliate marketing, selling other people's products and services. So I figured if I invested in myself in this education, that would be great. But something happened along the way. When I went into the affiliate marketing program, and not everybody has to do this. You can just learn how to market anything and never do the affiliate marketing program. But when I started to promote SFM, because I truly believe in it, because I saw the businesses out there that I had worked with that had no clue how to sell online, that were missing out on huge revenue streams, and their costs were high and their revenues were going down because they couldn't compete with the Amazon.coms or whatever, I knew that those businesses had to learn it. So my intentions were, well, I would learn it, and then I would get these businesses on here because they need to learn it. I understood the value of it for everybody out there who's trying to generate revenues of any kind. And then I realized what the potential income earning power was with SFM if I promoted the training. And within 2 years, I've become a six-figure earner. I made $35,000 last month in climbing. And I'm very happy to show that information to anybody. I won't do it on this webinar, but so I want to share that with you and be very transparent, because what I want to do is answer any questions about what does it really take to get there. First of all, you have to make a decision that you really want to change your life. This isn't a hobby on the side. You could make it a hobby on the side, but you're not going to have the kind of results that people like me do. If you're really looking to change your life and quit your job at some point, you can do it. Even if you're working, you can do it. The difference between SFM and anything else is we're going to support you and help accelerate that. People that come on board personally get to work with me. I have webinars. I have a webinar every week, and I personally Skype with them. I am there to support you. The entire SFM community is there to support you. And SFM's training continues to up its game. We have events. We have meetups in different cities. We have people that are like you that want to make a change that may not be encouraged by the outside world, that's petrified to step out of that traditional way of thinking and living. And that's the difference right there. You would have to make a decision to say, what is it I really want to change in my life? And am I really going to dedicate myself? Because I can't express enough that we're not looking to just sell something. That is not my intentions. I'm looking to change people's lives. And if you watch my YouTube channel, you know that I genuinely do that every day. And I believe that you can do the same thing. You can not only help yourself, your family, your friends, but you can start to pursue the things that you're really passionate about. And that's what we encourage. So a lot of people come on, they go, well, here's affiliate marketing and SFM, and then here's this other thing I want to do. And I say, no, this platform is what's going to help you do all these things. And people switch gears. They start to switch the way they're thinking when they realize, wait a minute, it's not separate from that thing that I love doing. I'm saying, no, let's take all this training and create that brand and find those people that you want to connect with and automate everything so that you're not working hard. That's what the training does. And it doesn't matter what your passion is. You can take this training and apply it, because we don't want to work hard anymore. We want to focus on what we love. Yes, there is going to be some times when you're going to, be very challenged. There's some technical stuff, but as I mentioned, there is so much support and training available to you that you'll never be alone, and will help you through it, no matter how much or little time you have during the week to dedicate. So I want to, let's see. Wow, okay. Okay. Yeah, I got some very strange comments going on here. All right, so I would like anybody to basically tell me if you'd like to come out and ask some questions, or if you would like to type some questions in here if you don't want to come out. If you're confused, yeah, KT, if you're confused at all, I want you to go ahead and ask questions, and we'll hey, by the Anastasia, we'll repent later. But hey, KT, can
Hi, Landria.
hi,
Can you hear me?
yeah, come on out. I don't know why.
I'm in Portland, Oregon.
There you go. Hey,
Hi.
yeah.
Hi.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I love Portland.
It's been a while,
Yes,
but
I
I've
know.
been following you. I've been getting your emails, and
Good.
it's like been this little light bulb in the back of my mind. And I just got back from an awesome and inspirational live event weekend in LA, and it's all about basically the same stuff that you have been offering to us. And
So wait a second, you're talking about you went to an SFM meetup.
it wasn't SFM, it was similar. It was
Okay.
very similar, but it's the same inspirational stuff that you are helping us remember about ourselves and our potential, and all this positive change, and making agreements with ourselves to be willing to open up our lives in more expansive ways.
Yes.
So so that said, I absolutely get a kick out of you, and you do something with my inner fire, and I know that there's definitely a higher reason and purpose that we've been connected, so I trust that. So I'm stepping through a lot of fear, and I want to go forward. I want to face the stuff, and I want to bring my fears with me so that I can kind of rise above them, go through them, whatever I need to do with them. But my fear, I can't quite tell if it's a fear of success or a fear of failure. I don't think it really matters.
Well, I have a question.
But that's kind of what it feels to me. That's my first thing. Yeah,
so the fear you're talking about, and this is what we deal with a lot, and this is why, so you get fired up when you talk with us, and that's why I said when you go into SFM, I've talked to people that they go away for a while and they come back and they said the energy and the encouragement from the community at SFM is what gets us over that hump, because most people are not like me. They are not able to break past that fear and go into that place that's a little scary, and they don't know why it's scary. So I'm going to ask you, what part of this would be frightening? What is it that would happen that you think is scary to you?
I think it goes back to the old negative self-beliefs that I'm not smart enough to handle it, that I'm not smart enough. I'm not IT smart enough to handle the technical stuff. And I'm a very hands-on learner. So if somebody's sitting down with me and showing me how to actually, work the ropes, sitting next to me, showing me how to do it, and then letting me put my hands down and do it, that's the way I learn. So I don't know if tactile learner, visionary learner, I don't know. But I'm wondering, can I actually sit down physically with somebody? And
you don't physically sit down, but I want to tell you what we just did. So when we run into issues, and SFM does this, we're continually listening to the members and saying, okay, and by the way, I don't work for SFM. I'm strictly a member. But what's happening is, as the feedback comes through on, there is one module, it's module 3, and that's when you have to set up your system, and you need to know it. You can't hire and have somebody do it. That's not why we came here. We came here so that we could teach people, create a living from this, because there's going to be people that don't want to join SFM, but want you to show them how to set up their business. And we have SFM members so qualified, you will actually have the ability to be certified And I'm telling you, I'm not talking about web developers or whatever. I'm talking about just learning how to set this up is going to be so second nature to you. And they charge thousands of dollars to do that. That's a consulting coaching business. We have people that want to coach people to help people like you get through the fear. There's so many different businesses you can create off of this. But that one module, what happens is I am like so not a tech person. It isn't funny and I don't enjoy it. And now, oh my God, I did not enjoy it. But I didn't enjoy it because I didn't know it, right? It's like when you're working out at a gym, I don't know if you guys can relate to this. There's always a part of the body you hate working out because it's your weakest part, right? It's my arms. So my legs, man, I'll sit and do leg, presses all day, but I don't want to do the arms because my arms are weak. Well, as soon as I started doing CrossFit and I got strong, I loved doing the arm push-ups and stuff. And it's no different with this. So once you learn it, and we teach you in a very simplified way. So KT, I'm the same way as you. I have to have somebody go like, step 1, push this button. Now what? And then I have to understand why I'm doing it. So here's what we did. And if you guys, anybody who has not come on board yet, you actually go into my private training in addition to SFM's step-by-step. By the way, video training, live training. Here's what you do. They share their screens. Here's what you do. This is why SFM bridges that gap between you're on your own, here are the tools, and you're going, oh my God. And then you get it all set up and you're like, now what? All right, you're teaching me how to reach markets, but I have so many questions that don't get answered. So we answer those questions. So yesterday I spent 2 hours with my friend Shelly, who joined. She's a DEA Black, that's the highest level, which I am also. And we filmed, I taped the entire first step of her setting up a website, because that's where people are struggling. Now, building a website's not a big deal anymore because they have themes that you just like push things around and build it. And I built a website now in 2 days. By the way, not 2 full days, just a couple hours here and a couple hours there. And I showed people, I said, I want you to see what I built in 2 days in a few hours that would have taken me forever a couple of years ago when I first started with SFM, because things have become so much more simplified. So we have that available. When somebody has an issue, one of us will record our screen and say, here's how you do it. I'm one of the leaders. I'm one of the top members in the membership. And I'm actually flying to London for 10 days, spending time with Stu and Jay. We get trained by them and they work with us. But the leaders, part of our responsibility is to work with people like you. And all of us have our own private Facebook Facebook pages where we have video training. All of us, every week, we have video training. So if Dan, who's one of the leaders, he's really good at tracking. Tracking. So I actually watch his webinars. Here I'm a leader watching another leader's webinars because he's really good at tracking. It's something I should know. Take step by step. I set up my tracking, boom, it's done. So then, we've got another member who's, just really good at some marketing techniques. And I go over and I watch that when I need it. That's in addition to the SFM training, which, by the way, they just added 6,000. I don't want to overwhelm you, but 6,000 training lessons of lynda.com. That's what, if you go to LinkedIn, they try to get you to buy all these lessons. That we have a relationship, SFM has a relationship with LinkedIn and lynda.com, that whole training system. And now included in your membership is 6,000 virtual training lessons in addition to the SFM training, where you can go in, photography lessons, how to shoot videos, web development if you want to do something like that, how to learn Excel, how WordPress, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of lessons in addition to that, which you might have interests, right? I mean, flower arranging, you name it. They've got this huge library of things, and it's all very visual and step-by-step. So you never have to worry about that. So I'm actually doing a step-by-step training now because I'm getting this feedback that people are still struggling with downloading websites. And I said, so I'm going to take you through we try to simplify it, but it's going to take your attention and your dedication because this is your business. And when I say it's your business, you own it. So when people say they're afraid to be successful, I don't know. I don't know about that. I always wonder what part of money and happiness would you be afraid? And would people discourage you? Or, I mean, what, you know?
I think it's more about the not knowing the level of responsibility then.
Yes.
That it's going to take to live up to that level of success. And I don't feel like I'm really familiar with that level of success. Okay,
so let me share something with you. I just did a video today, and I posted. Well, I haven't posted it yet on my YouTube channel. How to avoid a midlife crisis, a life purpose crisis, or any kind of life crisis. How do you avoid that? You know what those are? Those are people who have not. They feel like they haven't lived the life that they should have, and they keep going along, and they finally hit that wall where they realize this is it. Oh my gosh. And there's no excitement anymore. There's no joy, and they feel stuck. So they either buy a sports car or have an affair or quit their job and go off, in some remote safari or something, so it depends on who they are. And I said, if you want to avoid doing that, start living your life like that every day. Don't wait till you have to make a decision. We're so busy calculating and analyzing everything before we go into it because it may or may not work out. It will always work out, because when you expand into those areas, the universe starts to send you more opportunities. So let's say, listen, investment bankers, 87% of the companies we work on go under. Why are we in the business? Because there is that other percentage that make it. And we hope we're going to help those few people, and the rest of them, for whatever reasons, don't. Do you stop going after that? No, because those business owners, every single one of them that went under, turned right around and started another business and another one and another one, because that's what they do. It's about learning and using that information. And by the way, every time I went into something and something happened that was not favorable, there was always somebody I met that said, hey, give me a call. We're going to go do something else, or you need to know so-and-so, or whatever. Doors are completely opening, but we are told that if we do this and it doesn't work out, or it's not what I thought it would be, it's a failure. There's no such thing. And so if you go into something like this is the mindset that SFM helps you get past. This self-defeating, limiting thinking of, the fear. And my whole channel's on fear. You know what fear does? It keeps people in their place. Mm-hmm. The church, the governments, the corporations want you to be afraid, because if you go outside of your little box and you know what kind of power you wield, they can't control you anymore. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theory kind of thing. I'm just telling you that centuries of that kind of thinking have been instilled in us because it worked. And that system, we're bucking the system on saying, yeah, I don't want to live like that anymore. I do think that I have the capabilities, but we're fearful because well, wait a second. Now I'm going to go into that world where these entrepreneurs are out there doing all this stuff. Like, that's not me. And you can't relate to that. And that's why I promote this so heavily. This is where people can go that don't have that background, that education, that experience, nor do they want to go in that spot. You don't have to go there. This is set up for you in a way that gives you every kind of support. What does it take? Determination, persistence, and the ability to just follow steps and hang in there. And I say persistence because it is, as I mentioned, not a get-rich-quick scheme. And anybody who's looking for that, call me when you find it, right? Why are there all these businesses out there taking advantage of people who want to believe that? Because there are people that want to think that they can just go do something and make a fortune without any work. It doesn't exist. Why would you miss that opportunity, that journey to become something greater? And we're afraid of that. We just want to know, tell me I'm going to be okay, that it's going to work. I'm not going to tell you anything because it's up to you. And you actually do control that. So I realized, I know it's possible. I know anybody can do it. It doesn't matter where you are or, you know, what your education level is. In fact, some of our better students, you know, are not business people at all because they just follow directions. They're not thinking too hard. So I just want you guys to remember that this is something very new to us. It is a new industry. And anytime you have something new, I'll give you an example, Bitcoin, seeing what's going on there. I'm like, it's totally unregulated. And I called my buddies, my investment bankers in New York. I said, what do you think of this Bitcoin? They said, stay away. Remember when hedge funds first came out? Anything that's not regulated can be, you know, greatly abused. And that's what's going on out there. This is an education that you get, learn, control. It doesn't get any simpler than that. You're not handing your money over to somebody who's investing for you. You're not investing in something that is at the emotional markets. I know, a former investment banker, we would have perfectly good companies go down overnight because something happened in the industry, in the emotional markets. People were dumping their stock even though our company was doing well. I don't want to be at the mercy of that anymore. So if taking charge is scary to you, then get ready. That will be scary. It's going to be you. And that's empowering at the same time because you can't blame anybody else anymore. The bad boss or the company that gave you the pink slip because they didn't manage it well. And I'll tell you, when you realize you have that power and you start to take it, it's mind-blowing and it's exciting. And then when you're around other people who are talking just like you, that have the same fears and the same questions and the same doubts about themselves, we have whole masterminds talking about just that. In fact, most of them, at first I was like, you guys, just tell me how to do this. So what's with all these mindset things? And I realized the majority of people need that. They need to hear that they can do this and that it's all in their head. If they can't, it's a story you've told in your head, just like anything else that we do in life, right? It's a story you tell in your head. The worry, I'm going to be broke. I'm going to die alone. You know, I'm going to lose my job. And we forecast this stuff because we're trained. Fear is supposed to protect you from this. So here's the worst case scenario. I'm done with it. I don't know about you, and I break through it. That's why I have a YouTube channel, helping people break through it. It's always going to be there. Don't expect it to go away. So the bottom line is, can you follow steps? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to dedicate it? If you're willing to, you can make this work. If you think it's a hobby, I don't recommend it because you're not going to achieve probably the kind of goals that you'd like to doing it just once in a while. It's like anything. If you ever learned a foreign language, if you don't use it, you do lose it. And the internet is a very big world, and their opportunities are extremely vast. It's getting more and more competitive. So all of you on this call, congratulations. You're way ahead of the game. Within the 2.5 years I've been with SFM, almost 3 years, it has been skyrocketing, just skyrocketing. I've seen more and more people realize, wait a minute, this isn't a scammy, schemy thing anymore. This is just a real education and business. I told you guys this before. You know, Amazon.com is an affiliate marketing company, right? Uber, Airbnb, Hotels.com, Expedia.com. They're all affiliate marketers. They don't own anything. They own the platform that sells other people's stuff. That's all they do, and that's all you would be doing. And you don't even have to have the platform. SFM runs it. Now, what you do own, and this is where the power comes in, through the 2 years that I have developed my affiliate marketing business, I've connected with people on a very spiritual level because that's what I talk about on my YouTube channel. I now have 1.5 million people that watch me. And through that, I'm now creating online courses to help them break through fear. I'll have to send you. Maybe I'll sign you up for free, KT, so that you can, give me some marketing feedback.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Yes, and so guess what happens? I now have a audience that they're not signed up with SFM's list. They're on my AWeber list that I owned. And if you don't know what that means, go back through the videos and understand that. I get those names. Those are people that said, yeah, I'm interested in this. And they also know me, so I can say, hey, listen, I've got these courses over here that I've created. And I know a lot of you guys are very spiritual-minded people because that's where you saw my ad. And why don't you come over and take my course? And it's not very expensive. And by the way, I have events this year and cruises, and we're going to be in Europe at a wine tasting where I'm going to be speaking events, a career that I never imagined, that SFM, in essence, created for me because I went into this world that I never knew about, but was willing to explore. And I went, oh my God, the light bulb went off. I can automate anything I want and reach everybody like you guys. I'm talking to people all over the world right now. How awesome is that? Mm-hmm. And changing their lives. And then we have meetups. So they'll say, hey, I met, some of the other members in LA or London or whatever. People that are physically getting together too. So we still have that interaction. And now I have a new career, and that list I can send out an email to and have people then go over and start to get on board with my products and services and change their lives in completely different ways that way. And that is mind-blowing to me and empowering, because I couldn't imagine an investment banker in how I thought in my life, the way it was, and who I am now. Everything happens for a reason, but it won't happen until you step across that threshold and go out into the sunshine and explore it. And that's what life's about. What is everybody waiting for? To your deathbed and you go, what was I afraid of? What could have happened? I would have learned something new. I would have met new people. By the way, I've met unbelievable people. I'm partnering with people on stuff. I think one of them's on here now. It's blowing my mind. I think that was one of the biggest things. People were saying that they were shocked at who they're getting to meet. Oops. I thought I heard somebody on. Who they were getting to meet. Doctors and lawyers and stay-at-home moms and truck drivers. We have truck drivers and semis who are on our webinars with their cell phones. It's really cool. And they're like, yeah, I'm, trying to get out of that life and making the time and getting the guts to do it. Because here's my question for you, and I always ask this every webinar. Tell me what your options are. Okay, KT, what's your options?
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I hear you ask that question on many videos.
I ask it every time. It's like, where all this thought, give me your options. Go ahead. You can pick any one, and I guarantee you're going to come back. You're going to be back and go, that's not working. That I'm going right back into the very thing I don't want. Not having the freedom, not being fulfilled, not controlling my income, not going after my passion, not being challenged. I'd rather be afraid doing what I want than being totally controlled in somebody else's world.
Or to stay comfortable where we are.
Uncomfortably comfortable.
No, to stay comfortable. We have a choice to stay comfortable and not really get anywhere.
Well, it's not really comfortable, is it? If everybody was comfortable, they wouldn't be on this call right now.
Well, I guess it's our conditioning and what we feel is safe and comfortable to stay where we are. And now we're at a place where we know.
Perceived safety.
Yeah.
We know
that's not true anymore.
It's not, and it's not.
That's why we're here.
Every day you're saying, there's something more. There's something more. How do I get that? Mm-hmm. We have to pay our bills. Mm-hmm. But, I always tell people, your passion shouldn't be something you do on the side on the weekend once in a while. And I've got people that are members now that they're struggling, man. They're like, I'm exhausted when I get home. And I said, you've got to get through this. How do I help you get through this? One of them we talked to each other this morning. I said, tell me when you're available. He's working 2 jobs. I said, if you don't do this, you're not going to get out of those 2 jobs. He said, we'll never end. There's no way out of that. And he knows that. And I said, I will streamline this. I'll work with you. We'll make it happen. And I will give you that promise. Jackie, I want to pull you out. Thank you, Katie, for coming out. Thank you.
Thank you, Landria.
Yeah, I hope to get to meet you very soon. So, Jackie, I'm going to pull you out because Jackie is an example. Jackie's a member, and she's an example of somebody who has been on board with us. And, oops, Jackie, I see your iPhone, but I don't see your picture anymore. She got yours. Yeah, no. Is your internet connection?
I don't know.
So Jackie's somebody who, Jackie's a vice president of a very sizable company. So she's got a very prestigious job, and she also works very hard. And, she has sort of wandered away from this and now is coming back because she said to me, and Jackie, you can share as much as you care to. I don't want to tell anything personal, but if you want to share your story or as much as you care to, I'd appreciate it. So why don't you tell us, what's happening with you and why you see this as really an opening for you to change things.
Absolutely.
There you are.
Unfortunately, my family has been hit with cancer. Not only my daughter-in-law, who has 4 of my grandchildren, ages 5 to 9, but also my husband. And so our lives have been totally changed just having that introduced into our daily lives and trying to find other possible cures for something that is so tragic that happens to so many people. It's just tragedy. And so we have sought out many things that perhaps may be a holistic way of healing. We've learned a lot, not because we wanted to, but because we had to. My time, of course, is now even more limited because I still work. I have the insurance, and you have to have that. And then I have 4 grandchildren that I help to take care of, which are here now. You may hear them in a moment because they had their WrestleMania going on. But anyway, my life is no different than anyone else's. We all have challenges, and it's all in how we move forward with them. But joining this has really opened a door for me, and it is making me change the way I think. I don't want to do the corporate life forever. I don't want to do that. It's difficult, it's hard, and it's long hours, and I'm very thankful for it, however, but I wish not to pursue that. I have a lot of grandchildren to help take care of, and I am going to get through this and get my web page set up, and through Andrea's help, which you have been most helpful to me and encouraging to me, this is going to happen. And before too long, I'm going to be sitting back and I'm going to be able to laugh and say, yeah, I remember those days. But I'm very grateful and very thankful that, and I know that because the energy that we all have, it has brought me into this fold. So many doors have opened, and I have been directed in this direction, and I'm going forward with it because I feel nothing but love and truth and just people wanting to help people. And isn't that so wonderful to have people that want to help people learn and grow and be and do and live a successful, happy, joyful life? So even though my family is going through this now, we will get through this. This is just a ledge that we're going to have to overcome. And we will succeed. I'm confident of that.
Well, I think that it's like you just said, it's like, even though you're going through this and, you're going to, start learning all this stuff and starting to change your life with the whole corporate world and that, I mean, that's that whole community that it's sort of like you have all these friends out there that are going to cheer you on, that, that are apart from the core people who are being affected by what you're going through, and the outside group that can say, I can relate to it, or we're here for you, and they can be strong for you. And I think that's the key, because sometimes you can't go to your immediate family or whatever, because first of all, you're taking on all this responsibility. And that's why I said, I don't think people realize when the Six-Figure Mentors was meant to be more of a supportive community, not just with the training, but everything else that is required for us to change our lives. And they get it, that this is not an easy decision for anybody to make.
Right.
It isn't. And it's all in our head. And I can tell you that I could talk all day, but you have access to people like me who will help you rewire those limiting thoughts and get out of that. Is this worth it? Do I want to do it? And like KT said, going back into that comfort zone that's not so comfortable, and realizing, and I think more and more of us are realizing that we don't want to live a mediocre life. That it is possible. We've been told that it wasn't really possible. That's for other people, or that's for those people that they're smart, they're entrepreneurs, they're wealthy or whatever, and that we're somehow different. And it's just not true. And I think we've all come to the conclusion it's just not true. And so, yes, it's not. And this vehicle has made it easier for us to create that life. Where before, if somebody came to me and asked me, and this, Jackie, it's like, well, you go into a company and then you work your way up, and they're going to require a degree most likely, especially, especially now. It's like, because that's the only way you can compete is who's got more. This person has a degree and this one doesn't. And it's like this, it's not about really who you are and what you contribute. It's just, on paper. And of course, if they can hire somebody younger and cheaper, they're going to do that. So people like me, well, in my industry, that doesn't count, because mine's about the experience and the contacts you have. And thank God, if you come with a huge Rolodex, they're all over you. But I don't want my life to be about that. So I look at this and I'm thinking, we're tired of that. We're not believing that story anymore. But we never had those options. I would have said to somebody, I don't know what to tell you. If you give me, a couple $100,000, I'll find a franchise you can buy. Good luck. Who knows if, do you have any experience running a franchise? No. Do you know, the first thing about the hamburger business? No. Who wants to be in a restaurant all day? I know a lot of these guys were doing those fast food joints, and I had one guy lose 125 franchises. You know how many millions of dollars that is? Hundreds of millions of dollars they lost in revenues and their investment. They didn't know. And by the way, real wealthy guys, they were like, they knew that ran companies. They didn't know the first thing about burger joints. So I look at that and I think it really inhibited us, even qualified people, of really doing well and going outside of that where they were to try and do something new. And now look at this. And I think people more and more realizing how huge this opportunity is, and that it's going to take some effort. Don't kid yourself. It's going to. In a few months, if you can achieve what I'm achieving, is that like not worth it? We never expect any companies that we work on to make money 2 to 5 years. If they start making money within that time period, woo, yay.
Correct. That's right.
If somebody didn't have a heart attack or a divorce along the way, that was even better. So, I look at that and I think, who wants to do that anymore? And now, this is a no-brainer for me, but people are afraid to switch gears and take that responsibility and say, oh my God, I'm a business owner, because we've been told that those people are something special or different than you. And it's just not true. And we can prove it to you, because our membership is full of people that come from every walk of life, We have a stay-at-home mom that made $300,000 her first year with no advertising budget. That's why she was talking to other stay-at-home moms who wanted to get out, figure out how they could have a life without having to leave the house for a job, right? So I look at that and I think, yeah, she worked really hard for that. She loved it. And she got to talk to other people, and it was exciting, and they got excited, and they were all making a difference. And that's just it. It's not you learning this and having to go do this. And I want people to understand that. Oh, I'm selling. No, you're getting to talk to people and participate in webinars and live events and pick things you love to do and create your own brand. You're not SFM, selling SFM. I said, you're you, be you. And we'll help you find that. Yeah, that's why I said, get your stuff set up. We'll help you find that. You and I, Jackie, have talked about that. Who are you? What's your message? Who you're talking to? And it's fun because we're not here to sell anything. We're here to change lives. Stu says that all the time. And when you, yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Yes, it is. And when you do that, it's like a mind-blowing, beautiful thing that I am really doing something awesome here, and I'm getting paid to do it. And the people come on board. When you see the transformation, it's awesome. I've cried sometimes at some of the messages I get from people. It's like, I'm not making this up, guys. I actually save my letters because I'm like, if you guys want to see this, people saying, oh my God, I never knew. I never even thought that I could do some of these things, and I didn't even realize what this translated into in my life. We love affiliate marketing or building websites? No, I actually do now, but you don't go in because that's what you love doing. People come in because they think they're going to make money. And I said, no, you need to love this. You need to love it. What is it you love that can be a part of? That's just a platform for those things you can become. What is it? Pick it, and I'll tell you how you can create a business out of it like I have. Now I get to travel all over the world and talk to people about things that I'm really passionate about. How do they do it? How do you change your life? How do you get past those fears? It's exciting. And we're having fun. So yeah, it's like I said, it'll take you places you never expected. So, okay, we have a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, I know. Okay, so what happens when you don't have a lot to invest? And we have this a lot with stay-at-home moms because, here, I'm going to mute Jackie. I don't know if I can mute Jackie. We have a lot of stay-at-home moms. All right, so I don't know if I can mute Jackie. Well, you can come in, Miss Kitaka. I hope I pronounced that right. What's the deal? Well, you can come in as a basic member. Now, you're not going to get the full-blown advanced training, but you can get started and then start to build your way up. And believe me, basic gives you all the modules. Oh, you're finding it hard to find a niche. Okay, so, Juliet. Okay, Juliet. Oh, Juliet, yeah. Okay, Juliet, you don't have to find a niche. That's part of the journey that SFM takes you on. SFM takes you on a journey where you actually explore that. And you start to find what that is. And you don't have to have that answer. It sort of happens with me. I didn't come out and say, I'm going to be a spiritual mentor. I'm like, I would have said you've lost your mind. But it happened for me. You know what? I need to mute. I don't know why I'm not able to mute here. Jackie, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, on
the bottom.
I think
on the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side, you should be able to mute. Thank you. We can pull you out if you need to talk again. So, so a niche. So this is what it does. Here's a platform that says, okay, you can make money online. We'll show you how to do it. Now let's find what is that value you're bringing. I've got some sun coming in here. What's that value? What's that value you're going to offer to people? Who is it? Who is it you're offering it to, and what's that message? Let's go over here. What's that message? And then we help you create that. And so along the way, you get to discover. So we've had, like, Dr. Allie usually gets on this call, and she's a member. She's like, well, I think I'm going to go after, health. And also, and it wasn't speaking to her. And I said, you don't have to make a decision. And at some point she realized, wait a minute. She says, I want to talk to people that, like myself. She's at the hospital sometimes for, 2 days at a time without coming home. She never gets to see her kids anymore. By the way, Jackie, both of her parents are terminally ill. So she's taking care of them. So I didn't even know that. And she says, oh my gosh. She said, I want to help women, professional women, be better moms. How do you do that? How do you juggle all this? How does she? Now she's going to learn how to create online businesses so that she can conduct her webinars to potential patients or all these other things that she does online at home with her kids. Instead of driving back and forth, she's going to start transferring all those things over. And we're starting to think of ways she can use this whole platform. And now she's creating that niche. And now she's going to help other moms who are professionals or want to be professionals to create a different kind of life so that they have quality of life with their families. I think that's huge. Oh, shy. Oh, no. Juliet, you know what? Believe it or not, I know you guys are finding this really tough to believe. I really don't like to get up in front of people and talk. And you're probably going, yeah, right. Don't worry about the shy thing. So Juliet wants to be a motivational speaker. Wow. Okay. We have a lot of people that want to be coaches and speakers. Listen, we got people from all over the world here. I'm spending just over an hour with you guys, and then I'm going to go work out. Right? It's not a big thing. I've got a Zoom. It's free for you guys. And so this is the kind of stuff you can do. So let's say you were going to offer, Juliet, let's say you want to start doing a certain type of program, and you write a program and you talk about a certain subject. We help you create an online course, and then we help you reach those audiences. And then you have a webinar, and at the end of the webinar you say, hey, listen, sign up for my course and I'll give you a free whatever, ebook or whatever. And then all these people sign up, and pretty soon you go off and work out, and they're on your online course, and you're making money, and they're loving it. And it's all happening, and you're not having to do that working. I have a lot of people, they want to be coaches. I said, watch out for that one if you're doing the one-on-one traditional coaching even. There's one of you, and 12 hours in the day you could probably work. Do you want to be on the phone all day with a bunch of people one-on-one? You can't even make that much money doing that. But look what an online course training can do for you. Teach you how to reach global audiences. Help a lot of people with one webinar. You can even charge for webinars if you give a lot of value. So I want you to remember this. It's endless what you can do with it. If you're shy, you don't have to stand up in front of a bunch of people. I'm looking at a computer right now. Well, actually, I can see all you guys, but we'll get you over it, Juliet. So does anybody have any questions? Treat every person you meet as a teacher. Situation is learning opportunity. I love that, Bakari. To gain the most from your life journey, treat every person you meet as a teacher. And every situation you experience as a learning opportunity. Thank you. Every experience is a learning opportunity. It's a growth opportunity. So unless you just don't understand what all this is, I think the no-brainer is, are you willing to dedicate yourself to learn something new? Are you going to be persistent? How bad did you really want to change your life? And if you're willing to do that, you will have no excuse not to succeed, because you're going to have way too many people supporting you. You're going to have every tool. Jackie knows this. You're going to have every tool available. If you don't understand or you don't where it is, in one email, tech support, we got 2 tech support teams and me and everybody else on our private Facebook groups. How do I find this information? You go to this, or somebody answers your question. It's going to be there for you. So guess what, you guys? You're not going to have an excuse to fail. Yeah. Hey, Bakari, I'm really sorry it's 17 degrees in St. Paul, Minnesota. He's got to go out and shovel snow. Thanks for joining. All right. Is that something I can get help from? Yes. Yes, Julia. Just so you guys know, all of these things we're talking about, we talk about in SFM. We don't just give you the platform. We talk about your goals and your passion and how do you translate that into your own businesses. We talk about all that stuff, finding your identity and other things you want to do. We have e-commerce trainings that's fabulous. Now, we actually have a relationship. SFM has a relationship with Amazon now. So we have our own platform there because you really have to know your stuff now. You can't just plop in there anymore. It's very difficult to make money on there. So I hope this was at least somewhat inspirational or answered some of your questions. You know, you guys can actually personally email me. And after we get off of here, I'm going to send a replay of this. Everybody's going to get it. And I will also, oh yeah, so Calvin, he has a good paying job. Hey, Calvin can relate to that. Jackie and I can relate to that. But hate being on call. All my time is dedicated to work. Me too, 14 hours a day. Man, I was working. Ugh. You want your own business, but oh, so you don't even own the business. And so yeah, so it's somebody else's business. They're making most of the money. It's more overwhelming to actually find something that works for me. Oh yeah, an online guru. Okay, so here's the deal. When we get off, I don't usually do this because I like people to commit on some way, and it's only $30, but I'm going to send you guys a opportunity to do a free 30-day membership. And Calvin, you're going to find out exactly what we're like. In fact, I have 3 business owners that just came on and a Green Beret special ops guy. I have multiple people who own businesses that are ready to, you know, go into cardiac arrest. One of them had an anxiety attack with me, couldn't handle it anymore. And because they can't take it, and they owned their businesses, but so you don't really have that much control. You're building somebody else's business. Yes, I think that you're a great candidate for this because I think you're going to really understand it. I think you really understand that this hard work could be focused someplace else, and that if you build your business on the side, you can speak to other people like yourself, because I'm going to tell you who are the best candidates. People that are working their tails off, that are successful, they're just as ready as other people who are not making that much money. Trust me, because we all know it's not really about the money. It's about loving your life. Then the money comes. And so all I can tell you is if you guys want to, yes, Karen, you can make money at the basic level, but I'm going to be really honest with you. The ultimate goal is to go up, because your commissions go up, because SFM puts a lot of money. They actually lose money at the basic level. But what you can do, Karen, is get started, and we can talk about translating that to maybe other ways for you to make money with the platform, and, you know, create other revenue streams that'll help create more money for you, not just the affiliate marketing with SFM. In fact, SFM's doing, adding new training that's going to show us how to pick and choose other affiliate programs to add to our portfolios instead of just selling SFM. It's like, how do I add other affiliate marketing programs? Guess what? You know what? I won't even say. It's like a major dude. It's not Tony Robbins, but it's on that level. I signed up as an affiliate. Worst affiliate marketing program ever. Oh my God, it's horrible. They don't know how to organize themselves. They need to take our course. And I haven't made a cent with them. And they are like, if I said the name, you'd go, whoa. SFM's going to show us, look at these things. This is what you need to know, because this is my reputation. If I'm recommending somebody and they have a lousy follow-up, I don't care who they are. If they have a lousy follow-up and they're not giving service to my members or my recommended leads to their program, I'm going to look like an idiot. So those are things we're going to learn. So Karen, I think that would be a great way as a basic level. we'll teach you how to add all these other affiliate marketing so we can create more revenue streams from that basic platform. And then you can decide if you want to use some of that money to raise your membership level. And so that's always a possibility. Okay. Yes, absolutely. That's what I do. I reinvest. So every dollar I put in SFM, I get 4 times back. I don't know about you, but there's no stock on the market that does that. So I have a big budget now that I put in. And when people say, well, how much of that do you actually make? I'm still making multiple 6 figures even after my advertising budget every month, just so you know. We're very transparent. In fact, the guys that recruited me are making $200,000 a month. And they actually show us, they take screenshots of what they make every month. So we have no reason to lie about this stuff. We don't put it out there. We only share that with our members because we don't want to be making claims that this is what everybody can do. We're showing you what's possible if you follow in our footsteps and put the effort in. So some people said, well, if I can only make $5,000 a month, that'd be great. And I said, well, great. Well, that's very doable if you're dedicated. So Joe, it's Landria, not Lisa. Joe, are you talking to somebody else? Joe said he's going to email me. All right, Joe, email me and I can Skype with you guys privately. Anybody in this call, I will Skype with you privately and say, how does this apply to you personally? And does this make sense? I have told many people not to join. They have no time, unrealistic expectations, or not enough money to even really invest in their own education. I'm like, you can't go to Harvard and say, oh, by the way, I can only afford 1 book. I'm just being realistic. SFM has to make money too, and their profit margins right now are not very high. So I'm telling you right now, this isn't going to stay this way very long. At some point, you're Lisa, and you're on Joe's computer. Okay, Lisa, yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you say that. I'm going to be looking for Joe. So SFM is going to start raising their prices and lowering their commissions because they keep spending so much money on the programs and fortifying them. At some point, they're going to have to just do that. And I don't know any program that pays the kind of commissions that they do. And it's a high-ticket item. So when you pay the kind of money that I did to be a Black member, then, whoever the lifestyle team who made the commission off of me, that's huge. That's more than some people make in a few months. So, all right. So yes, Lisa, you email me. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Juliet. Okay, cool. Juliet's going to join on the 2nd level. Very good. That's a great place to start. And then you could go up from there. Again, if anybody has a question, please put it in there. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go because I know it's Saturday and you guys want to go have some fun. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate this. This is so much nicer to be able to talk to you. I know you get I know you're barraged with emails from me, but I figure if you're really interested, I love you too, Lisa. If you're going to be serious about this, if you're like me, I couldn't get enough information. I'm like, give it to me. I wanted to see everything. And when people say it's too many emails, I'm like, then, cool. Find whatever you need to and come back to us because I think you will at some point. So let's all stay in touch. Please email. Tell me if you want to Skype. I'm going to continue to host these once in a while. And which helps, by the way, when you come on board, if you have potential members, you put them on here with me, and I do this for all of your members, and so that you can recruit people without even having to be the 6-figure earner. Because a lot of people say, well, I'm not the 6-figure earner. Who cares? I always say if somebody in a wheelchair is selling tennis shoes and everybody who buys them gets the gold medal running at the Olympics, who cares if they're using the shoes or not, or if they can even run? I know what they're selling can get me a gold medal at the Olympics. I'm going to buy them, right? People care about what you're offering them. And then when you become the 6-figure earner, then you can go ahead and say that. All right, Karen, thank you so much. Yeah, Calvin, thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to bug out. Thank you, Miss Jackie, for coming out. I love you, and blessings to you and your family. And KT, everybody else who's been here. And yes, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, the stress. Juliet, we can relate. All right, hon. Everybody, take care. I'm going to send you that free offer when I get off in the replay, and I'll see you in the very near future. Bye-bye now.